back to millimeters.
So that one works.
I think it changes your entire configuration into millimeters. Oh no, there it is. No, it's in inches. It works. Yeah.
All right,
works.
so
If you only take the one off, that is.
The isometric is in a weird position though.
all right, if you reload it now, I took the one off. See if it works now.
Let's give it a go.
Wait, so okay. If I can see this right, we're milling dovetails into the corners so that it could be held by the vise. Right?
Is that what's on that one?
No, like look, if you see, you need a dovetail for the vise to hold it.
Nah, it's just a square corner.
That's just a square corner? Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, how does one merge these things?
All right, so can somebody try that file and see if that one opens? It should be just a V block, no toolpaths.
Yeah,
It works, baby.
That one works. All right, so you
Never say that like that again, Brett. Ed, please.
Nick, man.
I will come over to your house and I will get duct tape.
all right, so you should have that one in one Mastercam file and the 5-axis vise in another file.
God, I wish I had 2 monitors. For
That's where I'm at.
All right,
I don't have
so
the
let
vise.
me
Head here, get the vise. I'm on the website, but what do I hit?
yourself. No, I'm kidding.
I
If you scroll down a little bit on the website, right, there should be a little thing that says downloads, accessories, specs, part list. Right underneath place an order.
yes.
It should be 3D model. Just download that. And it should
Okay.
have the XT file, MChem file, a bunch of other things.
Cool, thanks.
No problem.
Wow, I don't have all that.
Of course not. We haven't made it yet.
Levels? Okay. Yeah, I was going to say, I don't have all that.
What? Why would we have all that yet?
I don't know. Just saying.
all right, so turn this guy off. All right, this is what the vise looks like when you import the vise. All right, did everybody get that from the website?
How does
I got
one
it.
import Vice?
Yes.
So when you're going to open this, right, you're going to go to that website and you're going to download it and open it in Mastercam, and it should come in looking like this. Maybe not exactly like this, but
I tried the XT file and the other step file, and it still doesn't open in my Mastercam.
it's not opening in Mastercam. Huh?
Unless
It's
we have
opening
to
for
do
me.
the
It's
same.
weird.
They're renaming them, but it's not.
Advanced display. No, that's not it. How does one import a work holder? Model prep, solids, surfaces. No, wireframe drafting. Machine. Machine division, material. Simulate. All right, who's got the really buzzy mic?
It's Bradley. He's turned into a microwave.
Brad, my dude, if you're gonna be doing dishes, mute your mic, please.
That's what I thought it sounded like.
I'm just waiting for him to go ding.
Hey, what's up, E-Space Cadet? Sorry, I was just getting some coffee.
We
Oh,
noticed
we
we
heard
heard the
that.
whole thing because you didn't mute your mic.
We thought you turned into a microwave.
No, it's fun. I'm just making some coffee.
Speaking of coffee, I'm gonna go make some while everyone figures this out.
All right, so how's this download working? You guys?
The XT file worked for me, at least.
All right, so you got the V block.
Yeah, I got this. I got the zip folder. I got the 4 files. I tried dragging the step file and the XT file into my Mastercam, and it's not doing it.
It's
Yo,
not
Bradley,
opening.
could you
you're
text
not
me
getting
when
the
everyone gets
Vice?
together?
No, it's not. No, I even opened a new Mastercam file, and it's just I drag it, I have the like the.
Mine only worked off the XT file, but I see the same levels you do.
Levels. I don't have, wait, levels. Let's see here. Oh, I have some levels, all right.
All right, so if you're looking at the levels, all the
Good.
way at the bottom of the levels, is the full is the complete vice, so that should be visible. The last one. Is
Which
it
one,
possible?
Hagar?
It's the last level. Goes all the way
Last
down.
level?
The last one is
What's
the
it called?
complete vice. Well, on mine it says complete vice, but I might have changed that.
Oh, I don't have that. It just says 1032.3.
So is that one visible?
That one is. It says it is. It says it's marked with an X.
Has an X?
Yeah.
All right. So what are you saying? How much of the vice?
I think I see the whole vice.
Okay, so you have the whole thing. So Richard, is your levels, is it visible?
Let's take a look. Well, that's the thing. It's not even letting me import it at all. Like my level, I mean, all I have right now is just a brand new empty Mastercam file.
You
I'm
sure
gonna
it's not
try-
bringing it in and it's just invisible?
No, it's not there. It's literally not even. You know, like I mean, if you want to show my screen, I can show you what I mean. But
All right,
all-
share your screen over here. Let me get you the presenter.
Which Vice file do you want us to open, the XT or the step? I opened both. They both
The
work.
XT.
Okay, so I have my my levels were named differently, so that's why I'm confused.
All right. There you are. Richard. All right, Richard, you're the
we
presenter
go.
now.
Gotcha.
So you can
Okay.
share your screen.
You guys see my screen or not yet?
And I'm back. Is everything working yet?
Can you guys see my screen or not yet?
That
I
would
see
be
Richard's
negative.
screen.
Wait, what?
I see a screen.
Yeah, I see a screen, but I'm not sure if it's Rich's.
I see the
that's
red
me.
dot. Is it Mr. Hager still?
Yeah, 'cause
This
it's
is,
published.
I'm still seeing the V Block Practical.
I think that's your screen, Mr. Hager, because it says published on the top.
Wait, who's just clicking on published?
Well, this is me. That's
Yeah,
me, but
no, I see
that's
it.
like I'm moving
That's you
I'm moving the cursor, but I'm not. That's not my screen. Unless can you guys see this?
Okay.
Tools under rotation. I think you make it the presenter of your screen. Like I can do this on your screen, but
I don't know. I did it once. I think you have to hit share screen, Richard, or something like that on your
well,
end.
that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But
Should be right on the bottom, man.
oh wait, hold up. Oh, okay, I got it. My bad. Oh wait, no, that's for the webcam. No, I don't want the webcam. Share webcam. Share your screen. Boom. Sorry. My fault, guys. Entire screen. Almost there. Application. Okay, here we go.
There it goes.
Word. Okay. All right, so check it out. So it's my master camera here. This is the zip folder, V562 original file. All I'm doing is just taking the XT, and that's happening.
Yeah. See that circle would indicate that it's not transferring the file. So right click on here and open with the Mastercam.
Oh, right here?
Yeah, right click it and open. Click to open.
Hold up. There. Open.
And then you want to open it with Mastercam.
A Mastercam, I have it. I mean, I have this thing, but I don't think that's the installer Mastercam. It's not even- not
You
even
just want
shown.
to,
Just do it through Mastercam, file open, and then you have to change
yeah,
Alright.
try going there.
All right, so
when
this
it's
is it.
looking for the
Yeah,
file
see, like,
type.
So
yeah,
that's in
see,
your
that's my-
downloads.
Yeah, so now if I go to my Mastercam, go
File.
File open,
Yeah, well,
and the bottom
Yeah.
right, change the extension if you
Click
can't
the-
see it.
Open. And now navigate to where your downloads are.
computer downloads. Oh shit, hold up. Okay, so see, it's not even allowing me to see that folder. Like, here's the
The bottom right of that window, you gotta have to click on that, where, yeah, right there, change that.
Change that to the XT file extension.
XT file extension.
Should be Parasolid. It's up near the top. About a third of the way down from the top. A little further down.
Yeah, three more.
Yeah, one more. Right there. Click on that one.
Boom.
All right, now open. Oh,
Is it? That's not it.
no, that's indexing.
Max audio.
I don't see it there.
You have to go
Yeah.
back to your correct folder, I guess.
Wait, it wasn't the downloads. Yeah, I'll show you guys what I mean. So minimize this. I have that. That's the work piece. And that's a different folder.
Alright,
That's my
got the
fiance.
V block.
Okay, so this is the folder right here. So what I'm gonna do is I just go back to downloads and just drag this to my desktop.
You got to extract it out of the folder.
Oh, extract it out.
Yeah, right click and extract. Extract all. And extract down the bottom there.
Maybe that's why. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Aha!
Now it worked. Now it's
All right.
going.
Hopefully everybody who had my problem can actually see it.
It just wasn't, it was still in the folder.
It was so compressed. All right, cool. Thank you very much. Let me give this back to you. Stop sharing.
All
Thank
right,
you very
so
much. Thank you.
let me get the presenter back. All right. So I'm going to share my screen up here. So this is Mastercam, right? This is device downloaded. All right. So if you have this downloaded successfully and you have the V block downloaded successfully, two different pages of Mastercam, right? Two different files. We can go here to file, merge, all right? And that'll allow you to merge the two files together. So you can bring the Vice into the VBlock file or the VBlock into the Vice file.
I'm going to try. How do you do that, Professor?
It's we're under File and Merge.
File.
Yeah,
Which one do I go under? The V block or the other one?
well, at this point, it doesn't really matter because there's no toolpaths.
File,
So-
merge.
So you've got one
Okay.
here. So you want to bring the V block. If you have the Vice already, you want to bring the V block in. So you go to File, Merge, and select the V block file, and it'll bring it in here and merge it with this one. And it's going to give you a selection of where to place it. So just place it somewhere where it's not conflicting with the Vice for now, because we're going to be repositioning it.
You just placed.
Oh, it says the units in the file you are merging do not match the current system units. Please clarify. Maintain current system units inch. Scale
just
gap, merge
press OK.
reset units to file being merged. Metric.
Yeah, that's the trouble. The V block's metric.
I have no clue what the hell's going on right now. Yep, I'm lost. So,
Mine came right in. I had the VBlock open and then I brought in the Vice. I used the two XT files.
Yeah, it worked for me. Just put it underneath the Vice.
let me just hit check and see if that works. Looks like they're on the same page.
All right, so you
Uh,
have the Vice and the VBlock on the same Mastercam file now.
Yeah, it's just they're not on each other. They're separate.
That's all right.
Yeah.
You can move them around.
Okay. It's under. There's a box open that says merge pattern. What do I do for that? Just hit the green check mark.
Well, that's going to allow you to move it right now. All right. If you know where exactly you want it, you can move it around before you hit that green check mark. All right. If you hit the green check mark, it's going to drop it right where it is now.
Oh.
All right. So you can drop it where it is. We're gonna move it based on our some of the other information we have here.
All right.
All right. So you can just put it where it is.
All right, what did I miss?
All right. So
You missed us figuring out the thing that you wanted us to figure out.
Nice.
Okay, so let me just back up here a little bit. All right, so we've downloaded the Vice from the 5-Axis website, right? And it comes in a zip file. You got to extract it from the file, drag it into Mastercam, and you have the Vice open in one page of Mastercam. All right, same thing with the Vice, with the VBlock. We took the XT file from Canvas and we opened that in a page of Mastercam. All right, then we used the file merge. All right, I went to file and I selected merge here. All right, and that allowed me to bring the two files together. All right, so I've got both of them on the same page now. All right, so the next step here is we want to position all this stuff exactly how it's going to appear on our machine. All right, so that means centering it over to work offset and setting the height as we had determined the machine was. All right, so did everybody watch the video last week on setting up the trunnion?
I think so.
Yes.
All right. So,
Okay, so did I just miss how we got the Vice actually onto the block?
no, we haven't
there
actually
yet.
done it yet. All right,
Okay.
mine is on there, but we didn't go over how we actually did that yet. Okay, so if you watch the video of setting up the trunnion, then there's a very specific way that he probed it and measured the location of it to find the center of rotation, right? Because remember, we want to place our work offset at the center of rotations of the 5-axis. Is there any questions about that, of what that was all about?
I don't think so.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get brushed up on. I don't really remember too much.
I'll brush
Let
up
me-
on it later if I have to.
Let me just back up here a little bit. So we talked a little bit about it the other day. All right, this is the trunnion. All right, we have to place our workpiece on the trunnion, and we want to do it in such a way that the center of rotation of this axis and the center of rotation of this axis here, the point that they cross is going to be our 0 point. All right, so when we measure that, and then we have to find where that is in relation to the top of this little platen. All right, that's what that video is about. All right, so I can tell you that on our Haas machine at the school, that number comes out to be the center of rotation is 130 thousandths below the face of this platen. All right, so write that down someplace. It's 130 thousandths
The
below
130 thousandths below
the face of the platen
is where the
is where the center of rotations cross.
okay.
All right, so everybody understand what I'm talking about here? If we draw a line, but the center of this rotation, the center of this rotation, and the center of this rotation, they all meet in one point, and it's the center of this round platen, but it's 130 thousandths below the surface. All right, that's where they cross. So that's important when we get over here to Mastercam. All right. So because in the CAM system, that point is the point in which we're going to program. So in our Mastercam, let me go back to here.
So we want the axis, the gnomon for the axis is 137 thou below the vise.
Well, yeah, no, it's above it because
Above it?
yeah, we're gonna.
Oh, above it. Okay.
Yeah, because our position. I'm gonna zoom in here so you can see this one. This one's already in the correct spot. All right. So you see the way that this is not at the bottom of this part. It's 130 thousandths up
Yeah,
into
it's
it. All right, because
okay.
I want the bottom of this vise at the I want let me think down. I'm sorry, the platen is 130 thousandths. The rotation is 130 thousandths above the platen. It's not below, it's above it. All right, so when I put this vise on here, I want my my 0 point to be at my center of rotations. All right, so which means that I have to have the bottom of my vise 130 thousandths below the Z line here. All right, or the 0 plane here. All right,
Okay.
So when
So
we
when we import it,
position
we
this
put it
vise,
130 thousandths lower than the.
yeah, it's below it. I'm sorry, it wasn't above it. So let me go over here. It gets confusing with two screens here. So if I look down at my vise, let me turn off my V block for now.
I put the in the notes, in the shared notes,
All right.
130 thou above the platen.
Yeah, that's good. All right. So if I look at this from a top view, the center of my vise in X and Y is on the center of our axis, right? Our 0 point. But in Z, I have this 130 thousandths right here. All right. So I've dropped the bottom of the vise down 130. All right. So that positions my vise exactly the way it's going to position in the machine. All right. Does that make sense? So I physically measured our machine, did that just what the guy did in the video, where he rotate it one way and indicate it, rotate it the other way and indicate it, and then you come up with a number that tells you where that top of that platen is in relation to the rotation of the axis. All right, and since our crosshair here represents the rotation of our axis, and the top of our platen is 130 thousandths below that, then I have to have this vise positioned so that the bottom edge is 130 thousandths below Z0. All right, are you following me on that? So when you import this vise, all right, it probably came in with X and Y 0. All right, but you got to look at the Z0 because Z0 might be at the top of the jaws or
There's actually no zeros at all because it's just kind of floating in space above the axes.
Yep, for me too.
all right. So you want to position that X and Y might be done, but you want to position Z so that it's exactly 130 thousandths below that zero line.
In the original file or in the actual
In-
file where you like import it?
Well, you can do it in the one you're working in. All right. So
Okay.
all right. So before you start trying to move it, let me just
There also
explain
aren't
to you.
those pins aren't in the file at the bottom.
Right.
Well, we don't need those.
Okay.
They might be there. They might just not be visible. So before you start trying to move it around, let me show you this
No,
in
everything's
your
visible.
levels. All right. So the way that this is modeled, everything comes in on a different level. All right. So you have all the individual parts of this vise. So all of these, I have one at the bottom here that's the complete vise. So if I turn that one off, I got to make money.
Our levels are different. We don't have all those.
You don't have all those levels?
I have all those levels, but there's some of them that are just not actually there.
They might be labeled a little different, but generally when you bring in a model like this from this came from the manufacturer. So it's usually organized all as separate pieces on separate levels.
I don't have them all either. I'm with Eric on that one.
Did I grab the wrong one? I don't have it where it says 5-axis on the side of the vise and all that. Mine
Oh,
looks
we
a
have
little
the right one.
different. I only have like 5 levels for the vise.
How the hell did you manage that? Wait, are you doing the XT file or are you doing the MCAM file?
XT. That's what
Because
you
the
guys said.
XT file has all the levels for me.
Yeah. Nope. I have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I have like 23 levels. There's a hole. in my-
You guys are working from the same file, aren't you?
I have 23 something. Yeah, I have 23 levels. Now, what about my levels for the other piece that I merged?
You're not merging them yet. You don't know how.
Well, they're together on the same page in the same Mastercam file.
All right, so it's going to add those levels to your level list. All right. Now
how
it
do you
can be a
merge them?
problem if they're numbered the same. All right, so that's why when you number levels, it's usually not a good idea to number them all 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so that's why you see like these are numbered from 200 to 222.
Mine are just
All right.
labeled from 1 to 23.
Same.
So are they? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So if your VBlock, if you go in your VBlock file and your levels are the same numbers as the numbers of the Vice component levels, then change the numbers in one or the other one. All right. So you can just change the numbers of the levels. So just make them unique numbers that are not going to conflict. So like this one here, I might have added these 2s in front of this. All right. It might have been 1 through 23 and I added the 2 in front of it. All right. And then my V block was the 100s. All right. I did this a couple of years ago, so I don't really remember exactly what I had changed here. But so you want to look at the individual files, how the levels are numbered, and make sure that they're going to be unique so that when you combine them, it doesn't combine levels that you didn't intend to combine. All right, you want everything to be on its own individual level. So the reason that this is all on individual levels, and you can see all the separate components are on their own level, is so that we can move it around. All right, so in order for this vise to hold our part, we have to be able to move the jaws independently of the base, right? So we can do that by
Damn it.
by placing just the components that we're using. All right,
I can't
and
renumber
then-
the levels for some reason.
Well, that's why it might be a good idea to relabel them as you find them.
I'm
Or if
trying to
you feel-
relabel them, but it deletes the. If you renumber the levels, it just deletes it and
You
deletes
should be
everything
able
in
to-
that level.
Deletes it.
Yeah, the level just disappeared and there was nothing in it. I tried to renumber it and it just completely, there's nothing there anymore.
I don't know what you. If you click on a number,
I don't know if if I click on a number and I rename it, it disappears. If I renumber it, it disappears.
you're right clicking it to where it says renumber level.
Yeah, renumber level, and I renumbered it to like 10 or something like that, right? And it just disappeared. And there's nothing in the level.
Well, do you have a level 10 there that you can make visible? Maybe it's.
No,
Maybe
there's
it's-
no other levels. I haven't imported anything yet because you haven't told us how yet. I'm
So
still
you-
trying to. I'm trying to change the levels before I do anything because
All right, so which part are you working on now, the Vice or the V block?
I was working on the V block to try and change that to a unique number so that the rest of them would import and be fine. Because I don't know how to renumber all of the things without them deleting something.
Well, you may not have to. You might be able to renumber to just the V block.
I am attempting that.
Leave the Vice 1 through 22, whatever it is. All right, so the point here is that with all these individual parts, you can use the transform functions to move these around individually so that it holds the edges of your part. All right, so
Can we import it first? Because we still haven't done that.
Yeah, I
Alright,
don't know
so-
what the hell's going on right now. I'm lost.
all right, so what do you want to import? You want to combine the two files?
Yeah, because you still haven't taught us how to do that yet.
All right, so you've got a VBlock file and you've got a Vice. So if you have your Vice file open,
I got them both on the same page.
well,
When-
then
when
you've
you had
already
us merge
combined
them.
it. All right,
I
so
haven't-
Nick hasn't combined his yet. So he's got to go to File. So I clicked on File, and I got this
Oh, there it
drop
is.
down, and it's
Found it.
Merge. All right, so Merge,
It's not showing up. Wait.
and it's going to ask you which file you want to merge with it.
Yeah, it's not showing up as I'm going to go all files, and it's an XT file, right? There we go.
Well,
All right. Scale there, and then I have to move the everything. Okay.
all right. So once you have it in the Mastercam, now you can move it around with the transform, right?
Mhm.
So basically, what I want you guys to do today is practice with this. All right. So you can move the Vice components around because they're all on separate levels. All right. You can move the V block around because it's on a separate level. So you can turn the Vice off and you can position the V block. You can turn the V block off and you can position the Vice. You can move the jaws independently so that what you want to end up with is what I've
gonna
got
move
here. All right.
This out of the way. Our rotation of the Vice is a little different than yours,
All right. Well, you can
so we're
Yeah,
going to be on the long sides instead of the short sides.
well,
Hey Nick, could you
rotate
bring
it.
up your screen then so I could see what you have on your screen when you merge them? I'm just curious as far as your levels, planes, all of it. I just want to make sure I got the same stuff you do, bud.
I don't
Would that be all right? Just so Mr. Hagar can kind of see what our demo version provides us.
All right. Who's going to share their screen?
Let Nick do it, please.
what?
All right, Nick, you got both files on your screen you can share?
Yeah, I do now.
All right, I'm going to give you the presenter.
Okay.
You're the presenter.
All right, hold on a second. And cue the inception.
All right. That's pretty deep. All right, so there you go.
Hold on. I moved the V block a little bit so I could put this here.
All right, so you're going to want to rotate that vise, right, so that it's oriented with the X, Y, and Z.
It's already oriented with the X, Y, and Z, just not in the way we want it.
Hmm.
See? I just need to do.
It's
forward.
sideways.
No, it's not.
Yeah, Z's pointing straight up. That's the side of the vise.
Hold on, let me just move the whole thing over. That's at origin. Why does it change the colors like that? I don't like that.
That just indicates that it's selected, or it's in the.
Ah, shit, Andy. That's weird. Okay, let's rotate it. I have to select the whole vise, right?
Yeah.
Let's rotate it. And move. Why is it only rotating in one direction?
I would view it from the like the right side.
I'm trying, but it has one direction of rotation.
Well, it's going to be based on how you're viewing it. So if you right click and then choose a right side view.
See, it's
Right.
doing that instead of.
What do you
You're
what
on
do you
the
want
top.
it to do?
You're on a top
There we
view.
Let's go 90 degrees. There we go. 90
All right,
degrees.
All right, so then you've got that pointed up. So now you want the X and the Y looks good. So Z, you want to set it so that
Yeah,
the
minus 300,000, right?
vice
Or
is minus
130,000.
130. Yep. So then you're going to move your V block up there and place it in the in its machining location.
That move it the way I wanted it to? No.
Yeah, it was fine.
No, it moved it to the right. Why is it doing that?
Check it from the top view again.
Oh, of course. It flipped the axes like a stupid. Friggin' machine flips the axes for no reason.
All right. Bradley, did you see what you wanted to see here? Does it look the same as yours, or?
No, not at all. I'll have to try and figure that out later, I guess. I don't know.
Right, it's
Yeah, I saw what he
basically,
did, but
yeah, you just have to do it by like physically. Like once the vice gets into Mastercam, it's gonna be like completely somewhere else. You gotta just center it yourself, and then the actual V block, he has to center it. Like that's what he's gonna do now. He's gonna put the V block in the vice, like by hand.
okay.
Right.
For some reason, all of my stuff is like at a 90-degree angle to the top axis or top plane.
Oh,
You're-
someone's texting me in Discord.
All right. Well, I'm gonna get the presenter back then, Nick. Thanks.
Okay.
So you got a little work to do there to get the
Yeah, you get the thing in
get
the vice.
everybody organized, right?
Mhm.
All right, so that's the point of what we're doing today. All right, I just I want you to get these parts downloaded and practice with that. All right. So at the end of the day, I'd like everybody to have their vise on the center of the rotation and the V block positioned in the vise, so we can get ready to start programming the machining.
Is there a video that we can watch that'll kind of help us show that in case we didn't catch all that what Nick did?
Well, as far as using the rotation and the
Yeah, because I'm still not that familiar with Mastercam. I don't know about the other guys here. Maybe they know a little bit more than I do. So I don't.
You just use move, right? The move command.
generally we use transform.
Yeah, move and transform.
So
That's not what I wanted to do, you stupid. Mastercam's being retarded. Give me a minute.
So when you select transform, you have different selections in here. All right, you can move it, you can rotate it.
Okay.
This is where you're how you would go about aligning that. All right, you can move it to the origin. So there is immerse to learn videos in some of the milling projects that we did where they did some transform moves and whatnot. I'd have to go back and look and see exactly which ones covered that. But that's where you can find it. And then being able to break the vise down by individual components with the levels allows you to move the individual components in order to get the it to touch the part, right? So I would say, just practice with it. All right, try each of those transformation functions and try to get used to using that, because that's key to getting started with a file like this. All right, where we know where in space we want to machine this part. All right, because we measured that off of the machine. So now it's a matter of getting our Mastercam file exactly in the same location as our machining file is as our machine is going to place it. All right, so we're kind of working a little bit backwards here. Instead of ordinarily with Mastercam, you pick a spot on a part and you create your machining related to that spot, and then when you get out to your machine, you tell the machine where that location is within the machine. That sets your work offset. Well, in this case, the work offset is already predetermined in the machine because we want it on the center of rotations. So we're taking that and we're kind of backing into it with this file. So now we've got to get this vise positioned and this V block positioned to match the work offset we brought over from the machine. All right, so that's what I want you to practice. So once you've got everything downloaded and you've got them merged together in the same file, then it's a matter of practicing with the transformations and the rotations to try to get everything set up the way it's going to actually appear in the machine. So the V block, as far as positioning in the vise, you want the V block, if you find the center of the bottom of this V block, we want that to be over the XY center of the vise. All right, so if you can find a rectangle and put a mark on it, find a point on it or something to position that over top of the center of that vise. All right, or you can move it in from the edge, or however you want to do it. So that's what I'd like you to practice with today. All right. just positioning the vice, positioning the V block, try to get them together in this configuration. So if you look at, let me get out of this for a minute. If you look at this number right here, the 4 inches, 725, that's an indication of where the top of the V block is going to be in relation to Z0. All right, that's already been determined.
Quick question: how does one select only the vice jaws and like every part of the vice jaw to move it? Because I can't find all the pieces of the vice jaw, or some of them are hidden.
All right, so let me go back into Mastercam again. All right, so put this over here. Let me get my, go to view and get my levels. And I'm going to turn off.
It's not like they exactly have them labeled very well.
Yeah, no, they're not. All right, so I'm going to turn off the complete vice.
I don't have that level. It doesn't exist.
So,
Yeah, I don't have it either.
Me neither.
let's see now. All right, my V block. My V block, I made my main level. All right, so that one's visible. So now all these others here, I can turn off, turn on or off. So if I want to figure out which this jaw is, all right, it's not that one.
Well, there's multiple
Not
parts
that
to each
one.
jaw, and if you don't move them all at the same time, then it just messes everything up.
Okay, so how do I change the axis I'm rotating on?
Yep.
Change your view of looking at it. Because I can't find all the parts to the one vice jaw.
All
Know what I
right,
mean?
so here's the jaw and the two screws that hold it down.
But there's other parts of that.
All right, so
Are
we've also
like-
got, that's the base of the vice. None of those are vice parts, or I mean jaw parts. So I would say we would just use the jaw and the screws.
Well, then there's going to be
You
shit
know.
sticking out. This is what I'm saying. There's two little brass parts that you don't see.
I'm not seeing them in here.
Maybe you have an older version of it because on ours, there's two little brass parts that you don't see.
Right. All right. Well, I mean, it's a matter of trial and error. You go through here and you click on the visibility. You make everything invisible, and you just click on it until you have all the parts that you consider to be part of one moving part. If you want to make a complete vice like this, you can you could make a copy of all these onto one level. All right, so if you wanted to copy all of the parts and put them all together on one level, you can make a complete vice like this. It has all 23 pieces. All right, so you could do the same thing with the jaws. If you figure out that you need the contents of 3 or 4 different levels, you could take all those levels and copy all that onto one other, create a new level, all right, and call that one Jaw 1 or Jaw 2 or something, and do it that way.
All right, so it looks like 7 through 16 are the jaw parts.
Okay.
So 7 through 18.
For one jaw?
For both jaws, it's 7 through 18.
Okay. So you're going to want them individually though, because you have to set the span to match your V block.
I know. I have them all on, and I'm just gonna move them all as one piece, essentially.
All right. Well, but they may not be the correct distance apart yet.
Well, I have if you have the V block in the center of the part, and you just move them both the same dimension, then it should be fine.
All right. So, is there any other questions about the levels here? How you would manage these levels, or how you can use these to move the parts around?
Can we make the jaws like they did, like the guy did in that video, where you move one and the other one moves respectively in the opposite direction?
Well, I mean that's how the vice works, but I don't know how they that was in a Mastercam video.
Yeah, the guy that was setting up the vice, that 20-minute video or something like that. He was in his shop and he was setting it up in his machine. It's the one we watched last Thursday or something. It looked simple.
That's the way these vices work. They're when you turn the screw, both jaws move. It's not like a Kurt vice that has a fixed jaw and a moving jaw. These vices, both jaws are going to move. So it keeps everything centered to the center of the vice. So regardless of the width of the part, the vice is going to be centered.
Does it matter if it's like a fraction of a centimeter off of the part, or does it have to be as close to accurate as it can be?
Yeah, you want to be as close as you can. All right. Now we're not machining the vice. We're doing this whole exercise is to
for avoidance geometries, basically.
Yeah, to avoid damaging the vice. All right.
Okay, so if you get like a tenth away from the part, then it's fine.
That's fine. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So where we're going from here. All right. Today, I'd like you to get the vice downloaded, get the V block downloaded, and get the parts organized and positioned to match what the setting in the machine was. All right. Beyond this, where we're going with this is to do a simulation. All right. So I can show you here. Let me get that back. Let me get my complete vice and my complete part. All right, so beyond this, we're going to program the machining for the part. All right, so to do that, we're going to create a level for each side, not a level, but a plane for each side, and then the machining to cut it out. All right, so then the next step is going to be a simulation, like so, where we can define the actual machine, all right, and the limits of our machine, and then we can run our program. Come on. All right, so we have a situation like this. Now we can simulate the whole machine with our tools and we can run our program like this. So here we're doing some drilling, I guess. Come on. All right, so here you can see we did some drilling, and then it's going to rotate it and do the other sides, and we can complete all of our machining in this situation where we can monitor for collisions or any defects in our part. Can you guys see that? You guys see the machine simulation?
No.
No.
No? Oh. All
I'm
right,
still
so-
just trying to get my vice in position and my block in position.
This is on a separate screen. Let me see how I share this.
I can't see anything. I'm not seeing anything you're doing.
Not seeing anything. Where is it?
I'm gonna go ahead and assume this is in 6061 aluminum.
Yeah. Huh.
All I see is the same thing with nothing moving. All I see is the part.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to get it's on a separate screen here, separate window. I gotta share that window. Let me see what this stuff will drive me crazy.
Oh, we're gonna have to do a
Shit.
bounding box, aren't we?
It's down here. Huh.
Wait, do we want the origin to be the center of the part, or the bottom, or like the bottom, or where do we want the origin of the part?
The origin of the part is the center of rotation. So we want the part. I showed you that dimension, the 4 point.
I mean, for the stock setup.
The stock setup you can derive from the model.
Yeah.
Right?
So
So the stock has to be around the model, or you.
I know. I'm wondering where in the rectangle you want the stock's origin.
It has to match where the part is.
Fucking. You don't get what I mean, do you? Okay, so it says rectangular settings origin. Where on the little rectangle do you want the origins for the stock setup? Or does it not matter?
It's gonna matter. It's gonna matter.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm fucking lost. I don't know.
Not that hard to lose your bread.
This thing doesn't work.
Damn.
Blue Falcon, Blue Falcon.
What is Blue Falcon?
This thing.
It's body fucker. Or I should
Like
probably
a
let.
blue waffle, but it's a falcon.
Not at all.
I should probably let Mark explain this, but he's muted.
Alright.
So just to clear, you guys said we want the device to be 130,000 above zero?
We want the
You want the vice 130 thousandths below zero in the Z
Or
direction.
below zero?
Yeah, the bottom
Oh.
of the vice needs to be 130 thousandths below.
Okay, question. Are we switching to Imperial or are we sticking with metric?
It has to be an imperial. Why would
Yeah,
we do
switch
metric?
to
We're
imperial.
Americans.
Because it was metric by default, and I needed to know if we had to convert or not.
We
Yeah,
changed
the-
that before. I thought.
We did?
Yeah, the XT file is an imperial.
yeah, get the XT file. That one's in inches.
Well, from the vice, he means, because my
Yeah,
vice is
both of my files were XT files.
Okay. Should be in inches then, no?
Don't look like it, because this part is not 50 inches tall.
Okay,
So-
so let me get the master cam back and I'll show you how to convert to.
Are we just making the stock like exactly to size to begin with?
Yes, the
Okay.
stock is 2 inches. It's yeah, there's a little extra length on it because it's sawed off, but
Well,
But
yeah,
basically-
but I mean, it's 2 inches by 3 inches by 2 inches, right?
correct.
So let's add maybe like an eighth.
There's
on
really
maybe how-
the 2 inches right to size, so you could add a little on the length.
Okay, so the 2 by 2 is right to. Okay, so let's just add like 180 thou on the ends.
Alright.
All right, I guess I'll get started then.
All right, I'm just bringing up Mastercam here again. My computer's working slow.
Here's a
So I
mind
can
bulb.
let me show you where you would go to change the configuration.
Ew, cold coffee.
Yeah, I don't see anything except the very, very zoomed in canvas
That's
screenshot.
all I see too. Like I ain't seeing shit. Like what are we supposed to be just staring at something or?
It's Hagar's internet is Mr. Hagar's internet is
Oh,
a little slow.
there we go.
There we go. See.
Oh, look at that.
All right, so you see the Mastercam page now?
Now I do.
Yeah,
All
it's just your internet's a little slow.
All
Were we
right, so
supposed to
right
be
now,
seeing that, like, the whole time or?
it's in metric, right?
Were we supposed to be seeing that the whole time or just?
No.
No, I switched back to the other thing.
Okay. All right.
This, that, and the other thing.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right, so here's the Mastercam. It's in metric. The question was, how do we change it to inches?
Yes.
All right, the answer is we go to here to File, we drop this down, and we look for Configuration. All right, File Configuration. We click on that, and we get here where this is for analyzing measurements. All right, that's not what we're after. I'm looking for CAD settings over here on the list. All right, and down at the bottom of this, you can see that my in this box down here. All right, I'm going to switch this to English inches.
Yeah, my system configuration looks different. I have CAD, but not CAD settings. But I do have configuration. So I guess I just use the inch startup configuration.
And it's literally in Analyze. It's in the top. It's like the first one at the top. You just change that to inches and change the whole thing.
But didn't Mr. Hager just say that that wasn't what we needed?
I don't think that's going to do it. If you go,
Did it for me.
did it?
It'll change how we analyze, change the unit that the analyze function uses, but it won't change what we're actually working in.
Inverters, default machines, mentions.
And it warned me that changing configuration units is not recommended, but
Creating simulation.
All right, here's configuration.
Tolerance. Tolerances, toolpath manager, toolpaths. Yeah, CAD doesn't have dimensions in it.
CAD settings.
There's no CAD settings. It's just CAD.
yeah, I just went there, and it still has the drop down for which
There's
kind
no
of
drop
unit
down.
you're using.
There just isn't one.
This thing
There's
There's
one
no
down
for
here.
me.
drop down for that. It just says.
All right, just switch one back to metric.
Oh, Mastercam just crashed.
Terrific.
Son of a bitch.
Tolerances, start exit. Oh, wait. If you go into start exit, the current configurations units, maybe you should change that.
Yeah.
I don't know
no.
how you could change that, but you can. In any case, I'm going to get started on the actual toolpath.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, I got it, guys. Just so if you guys were wondering, it's on the same. It's on file configuration. If you guys go to analyze, where it says at the very bottom, it says current. There's a drop down. It says inch and then metric underneath. They just change it to inch. I don't know if you guys can see that, but go to my help.
So doing a bounding box for the stock selection isn't working too well. I can't add any length in the direction that I want it to. So
Stock selection, you should be able to select from the model.
yeah, wait. All solids, select corners. Checking something. Aha.
Let me see here.
I mean, to be honest, in this particular part, I would probably mill the stock to the exact dimensions of the.
That's generally what we do. We machine it's 2x2 stock to begin with, and then we cut it to length, and I think we machine the ends right to the 3-inch length. So we don't
Yeah,
have
that's
to, because you need that to hold on the bottom anyway. So then that keeps your machining up a little higher away from the vise. You don't have to worry about the base of it's already machined to size.
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So I'm just not going to add any stock. And I'm going to make my faces, and I'm going to. Do we need a face for each facet, or do we just need like a top face and 2 side faces?
For each rotation, you're going to need another plane, so it knows to rotate. All right, so you can do your stock from all solids. You select all solids here. That'll give you a stock. Actually, if you're going to do this, make sure you have the visibility of the vise turned off. Otherwise, it's going to count that as part of your solids, and you get a big piece of stock that includes the vise. So, so you can select the corners. You can do all solids if you turn the vise off. You can do a bounding box if you drag that out. So a couple different ways you can derive your stock dimensions and location from your part. So get your part positioned first. All right, so let me get back out of here. All right, so is there any other questions I can answer before you guys practice with this? I understand that not everybody is 100% familiar with the transformation functions and whatnot in Mastercam, but this is a good opportunity to practice it. All right, so downloading the files, positioning them in the workspace, all of this stuff is necessary before we can start programming it.
Mr.
it's a-
Hagar, I'm going to try
Yep.
doing this, but just a quick question for you. Are you going to be lenient with the grading from here on out, or is it just kind of like every guy for himself? Like whoever gets it, whoever doesn't, just kind of fucks. You know what I mean? Like what's
Well,
going on as far as that?
what I'd like you to do is try it. All right.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, of
if you
course.
have questions with it and whatnot, we'll go over it again tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. So experiment with it, try it, see if you can figure it out.
All right.
All right. And then I'll answer more questions on it tomorrow, and we'll go over it in more detail tomorrow. But right now, I
Okay.
think a lot of you haven't really done much with it. So, I'd like to see you try to get these files downloaded, try to get them configured in the workspace, and then I'll walk you through it tomorrow before we start on the toolpaths. All right, I'm not trying to leave you behind. I just want you to practice with it a little bit. Right. If I just go through it step by step here and show you how to do it, you're not really going to learn it.
Well, that's the thing, though. You got to see how it's done before you do it. Like, I have no idea how to use Mastercam. Like, I'll be honest
Bradley,
with you.
you've been doing this for how many modules now?
Nick, shut the fuck up. I'm not talking to you.
I'm-
Since 107, right?
All right, 107,
I haven't really been taught. Like 107, the first time I ever used Mastercam in my fucking life, basically I had to teach myself it, right? So since then, I've pretty much been lost, and I've just been trying to, you know what I mean, keep my head above water. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
And Noriega
So-
wasn't there for us. He
Like, I don't
was-
know about you other guys. I'm just gonna be completely honest. Like I'm still trying to use Mastercam. Now I got to incorporate all this extra shit. Like it's very frustrating. So, I understand Nick has like what 2 or 3 years of prior experience with Mastercam because he went to college for this shit, which is great.
I didn't do
But
shit with Mastercam. I'm learning it with you.
there are some of us that haven't used it at all. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Literally
It's
have never done
frustrating.
anything with Mastercam. Period.
I mean, to be fair, I had prior CAD experience, so a lot of this was just kind of intuitive.
Right. Not for me. So
All right. So, so where are you at with this now? Did you get these downloaded?
yeah, I got those down. Like I said, I have them all in the same. I have them all merged, but it might be in metric, so I have to go back and try and do that. I believe I know how to do that. But as far as aligning them the way you did,
All
I
right.
don't know.
So,
Crapshoot.
I'd concentrate. Don't worry too much about the units right now. That doesn't
Okay.
really an issue until we start doing the toolpaths.
right.
So as far as aligning it goes, you want to be able to transform and translate. All right.
Okay.
So let me go back to my master cam here, and I can go over it again.
Yeah, because I don't mean to be rude, but if I wanted to, self-teach myself Mastercam, I didn't have to go to school for this. I could have downloaded the demo and figured this shit out, on my own at home. You know what I mean? Like, what do I need Lincoln Tech for? I don't mean to be disrespectful. Like, I'm here to learn. You kind of got to spoon feed me this in the beginning. You know what I
It's
mean? And
when
then
Noriega-
after that, and then if I still don't get it, then yeah, it's on me. But it's like this whole time it's been like a big mystery. Like I have to figure this shit out on my own, get help from my classmates. It's very frustrating.
It was right when
So-
Mr. Noriega got promoted to supervisor, so we didn't really have a teacher. He
Yeah,
called it.
the guy wasn't in the fucking classroom a single fucking day, the whole day.
Yeah.
know,
Well, I
It's
mean,
ridiculous.
it's supposed to be a narrated tutorials.
I know,
Right?
but
So,
sometimes we have questions. Questions lead to more questions. Before you know it, you're lost.
right.
And
The reality of it is, sometimes the tutorials are clear, and sometimes they just leave you with a lot of questions.
correct.
So that's kind of the function of the instructor. It's difficult in this format to make sure I answer everybody's questions. So we're trying.
I understand that.
So let me get this open again. Of course, the computer doesn't cooperate either. And I'll show you a little, we'll go over to the transformations here. A second. Come on.
Okay, so if I want to snap my part onto the top plane, like the bottom face of it to the top plane, so I can just kind of move it where it needs to be, I do.
So what was the question? You want to move it to the top plane?
I want to take the V block. I want to just make it so that the bottom face of it is directly parallel with the top plane. So then I can just transform it upwards the distance it needs to go and know I'm at exactly where I need to be.
All right, so if you're like rotating it from a
I don't need to rotate it. I just need to translate it so that the bottom face is at 0, like Y0, so that then I can move it up the distance it needs to go to be in line with the vice.
All right, so let me do a little demonstration. All right, and you guys watch this, and then hopefully I'll answer all your questions.
Roger, Dodger.
All right. So let me share this screen up here. Let's see. Let me get Mastercam back up here. Come on. Sure. All right, here comes. All right, now you see Mastercam?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll try to rotate. All right, here we go. Get a little bigger here. All right, so here's the bottom of the vise. All right, so the bottom of the vise has a hole in the center of it here.
156. Okay.
Right, and then
All
that makes it perfect to move it to the origin.
Right, so this might be a good method if we want to move this. So I'm going to go to transform, and in transform, I have a function here that says move to the origin. All right, so I want to select my vice and hit that that function. So I can select my vice by windowing the whole thing and enter. All right, now I've got it all selected. Now I want to say I want to move it to the origin, and I want to pick that point.
See, I don't even have my part in the vice yet.
Yeah, me neither.
Oh, that's all right. Where did mine go?
That's what I mean. I mean, look at all the trouble, like, just to do, like, this stuff. Like, it's just, it seems like an uphill battle every step of the way.
Well, it's just
No.
until you get used to it.
Yeah.
All right, so grabbing the center of this point, center of this circle. Center of the circle. I'm watching there it is, center of the circle. All right, so that's my point that I'm translating from. So it would move my vice to the origin, which mine was already at the origin, so I'm not sure what it's going to do here. Oh boy, it's taxing my computer. There it goes. It didn't get the center. All right, it didn't get the center. It grabbed the edge of the hole. So see, now it moved the edge of the hole to the origin point. All right, so I'm going to do it again and move it back to the center of the hole.
See, when I do this after I've already done it with the vice moves too for some reason. Probably to avoid conflicting geometry.
You want to share your screen, Ed, and show us what you're doing? I'm not sure I'm following you. So let me just go through this again. I'm going to move this to the origin. So I need to select a point to translate from. I want the center point of this center hole here. So I got to find the, there's the center point of the hole. All right, so now it's translating it from that point to the origin. So it's going to put the center of that hole onto the center of the origin. Come on. There it goes. All right, so if you look close here, you can see now the center of the hole is the center of the origin. And the part is even with the bottom. The crosshair is right on the bottom of the part. All right, so remember we talked about how the platen on our machine is the top of the platen is 130 thousandths below the rotation of the axis. All right, so we have to reflect that in the location of this vise. So I'm going to go to the front view of my vise. I'm looking straight at the front, and I can see that it's sitting right on Z0. And I need it to be sitting 130 thousandths below. So I'm going to do a transformation here. So I'm going to get my, I'm going to go to transform and translate. All right, click on that. It says select the entities to translate. I want to get the whole thing, so I'm going to window it. Enter. Wait, there it is. All right, so here's my translation box. All right, so I want to move the whole thing down 130 thousandths. So I'm going to put it in Y here, minus 0.130. And I'm going to click on another, I'm going to move it. I'm going to click on move. Come on. There it goes. All right, so, all right. I put it in Y and moved it in the wrong axis. So I really wanted to move it in Z. So let me put it over here in Z, minus 0.130. And I'm going to put Y back to 0. Zero. All right, and I'm going to click on another field. I'll click on X here, and it's going to show me what it's going to do. So we're moving it. Click here. To move it. All right, it's just warning me that it's warning me I didn't include the wireframe. Yes. All right. So it's warning me now because the wireframe was not visible. Come on. Do it. Yeah, I don't know. My computer's really working slow here. It's not functioning as it should at all. But anyway, when you're going to move it with a transformation, it's best to view it from one side or the other. All right, look at the front, look at the top. All right, so that you can clearly see if it moves in the direction that you want it to. When you select translate and you select the components, it's going to allow you to move it along any of these directions, all right, or move it from one spot to another. Now, yours may look a little different in the translate. This is an older version here. All right, I think your translate looks a little bit different than this, but there should still be X, Y, and a Z where you can move it in any of those directions.
Okay, so is there a way I can move things in absolute rather than incremental?
You can move from a point to a point. So if you know that you want it to be, for instance, if you want to install the V block into the jaw, all right, you can move it from the edge of the V block to the edge of the jaw.
But I can't really seem to select planes to do that, so that doesn't really help me.
I'm sorry, just one quick question. I don't want to defer too much from this. Is there a way, because I'm trying to move the device separate from the piece itself, the view block itself, but they seem to be combined on the same plane.
Well, use your levels. So turn off the visibility of the part and just move the.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but the thing is that for some reason the V block and one of the levels of the device are like combined on the same level.
All right, so then you got to separate it out to another level. So you can do that with the transformation also. So let me show you on this one.
Thank you.
All right. Let me go to top view here. All right, so I'm going to do transform, translate, and I want to pick just this jaw right here. All right, and I'll hit enter. So just that jaw, I want to move it in X. I go all right, so as well as, and again, yours may look a little bit different. All right, I'm going to also change its attributes. So in the translation box, there's an expansion. I can use attributes, and it asks me here which level I want it to be on. All right, so I'm gonna put this on a new level. I'm gonna call it level 1000, which I know there wasn't a level 1000, so it's gonna create a new one. So it's gonna create a version of this jaw moved over, all right, and put it on level 1000. So I'm gonna say okay to that. And there's the jaw moved over. And if I look at my levels, levels, I come all the way down and see there's one level 1000 has one entity on it, just that jaw.
Gotcha.
All right. So I can turn that off now, and that jaw disappears.
So now the
All right,
level
turn it
that
on.
the level the device was on, did it take that entity out of the level completely and just put on the new one?
In this case, I think I did because I had it move it. I could have made a copy of it. Let me do another one here. So I'm going to go back to transform, translate, and I'm going to pick this jaw. Hit enter. And here, I want to see up here it says move or copy. I'm going to make a copy of this one. All right, and I'm going to put it a new attribute. I'm going to move it in X. I'll go 40, and I'm going to make a new attribute. I'm going to go to level 1001, and this one's going to be a copy. All right, so like that. So see now both of them are there.
Yeah.
All right, so if I go into my view, onto my levels, down to 1001, I can turn off the visibility to one I moved, or I can turn that one back on, and I don't know, I'd have to find the one up here.
Yeah.
I could turn that other one off. Actually, I can't because it's part of my complete vice.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's the thing that's happening with for some reason when I merged the two, the VBlack just merged itself into one of the levels in the device. I'll try to separate them and see if I can work on
Yeah,
this.
and the other thing you can do here is copy and paste in levels. All right, so if I make a new level, I'm going to make a new level 1002. All right, and I want to make it, I'm going to call it Jaws. All right, now I want to get, let's say I want this part, and I'm just going to right click, copy the entities. All right, and I'm going to go to Jaws, and I'm going to paste them. Paste entities. All right, so now Jaws has one entity that I copied from that other one. Put it in here.
Yeah, for
Alright,
some
so-
reason, like I see your screen, you have, one entity, 22 entities in the complete vice. On my files, I don't know everybody else's, but on my file, my number one level has 184 entities, and then everything else just has one.
Okay.
I just thought it was funny.
You gotta be careful when you translate. If it copies it, if you don't tell it to put it on a separate level, it just puts it on whatever the active level is at that time.
Gotcha.
So look for that attributes, and then you can try to organize it that way. So it takes a little time. It takes a little time to get all the levels organized the way you want them, get the VBlock organized. But then once you have that, you can then move all these things around independently to position everything exactly the way you want it.
Gotcha. And I mean, if anything, if you have a moment, I would like to share you my screen because I got that. I'm separating the two of them, but my
All right,
block.
let me give you the presenter. and you can-
Hey, while he does that, quick question.
Yep.
When I convert my units, should I convert? It asked me if I should convert everything on the thingamabob to inches, and I said no, but now it looks like everything's way too big. Should I have said yes?
Yeah, and then I think you got to zoom in on it, right? It's going to convert it, but it's going to look real tiny.
Yeah, either my plane is really tiny or my parts are really huge.
Just a quick question for the toolpaths. For that little like relief in the bottom corner, what do we do for that? Do we just drill that, or is there a special mill that we need to use?
We usually drill it
Yeah, that's-
beforehand before you do the milling. Drill that hole, and then you just mill up to it, so it leaves you that little half round corner.
All right,
Okay.
so let's drill that first.
All right, let's see, Richard. Let me find you over here. There you are. All right, I'm going to make you the presenter.
Alrighty, here we go. Share your screen. Screen application window. Boom. Here we go. You guys see my screen?
It's coming up now.
We good? Or-
Okay.
Okay, so somehow, I mean, I don't know if it's right or wrong, but somehow I managed to put my vice center in the middle, but it's underneath the Z instead of above the Z. Same thing with the part. The part seems to be in the middle, but if you see it here, if I turn this off, sorry. If I turn this off, the part and the vice are all in one. So doing what you told me to do, which I cannot tried it before. I'm gonna go to translate. I'm gonna select. It's not letting me select. Okay. Select. There we go. Okay. And then I go to advanced because it's different in my screen. I go to advanced, new attributes, and I'm just gonna call this A965, whatever, just for the fun of it. And just press OK. And it says you select a solid to move, define wireframe.
All right. You have selected sound. All right, so say yes. You want to bring the wireframe with it.
Cool. All right. So now if I go down, here is just at least what it should just be that. If I go like this, oh, I guess that's good or not. But anyways, my thing is that now that I have this selected, which is just a device, and I mean not device, the part itself.
Right.
If I go to, let's see, translate, I select my V block again and the selection, and let's say I want to move it this way, which in this case, according to this, is Z, but then here it's showing me is Y. Like if I try moving it to what to me is Z, it's gonna move it that way. When in reality, according to this, is my Y. I want to move it this way to go above the.
All right. So move it in Y.
But it wouldn't matter.
It's just how it's. I don't know why it's because of the direction that you're viewing it. So it's not really going to change.
Like the setup itself. That's my only concern. It's just the setup. Like I can make it look right, but and move this vice is by itself.
Now you should rotate it too, right? Because like if you view it from the top, you see the wireframe didn't move even.
All right, so that's like that.
Yeah, we'll see how that way. What is going on?
Yeah, see, it's these those X, Y, and Z in here in this box is all relevant to how you're viewing it.
That's so weird.
So
So
that's
now
why.
if I go like this way, then it moves it the way that I want it to.
So if
Hey,
you,
how do you change the vice from a part to a fixture? Can you change that?
from a part to a fixture.
Yeah. Okay. So you change it from a workpiece to a fixture, is what I mean.
For what purpose?
So that you could turn on and off the fixture.
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question.
And should we also have the X and Y always be 0 for the
Yeah, the center device is going to want to be on 0.
Yeah, no, I mean for the toolpaths, for the faces.
For the faces.
You know what I mean? Like the faces, should they always
yeah.
be 0?
Yeah, it's going to.
Okay.
The only difference is going to be your height. Right?
Yeah.
Anyways, I mean, I guess I can just move it like now these two are the same CNC, I can move it, but now any idea how can I make the wireframe follow up with the actual part there? Or if not, I
The
can see if I-
wireframe.
Yeah, you see how the wireframe
Yeah,
stay behind.
it should have went with it.
Yeah.
I don't know why it didn't. Unless it's on a separate level.
It is on this one here. You see, like if I turn it off, this is what it is.
That's what that message was before. It was asking you if you wanted to, bring the wireframe along with it. So go ahead and click OK this and see if it asks you if to bring the wireframe along.
Well, I did already.
Oh, that's already
Yeah,
done.
yeah, like this one is the actual solid. Like if I go here, that's the actual solid, but the wireframe stay behind. Wonder if I
Alright.
move it again. I think
So
if
you
I
have to
move-
move. You have to move that separately then the wireframe.
I think if I try to move it again, it might actually let me because it gave me the error, the message before. So if I press this, no, it didn't. All right, I'll figure it out. I'll move it by myself. Then.
All right, you got to play around with it. I mean, that's the only way to learn it. Really, is to play around with it and experiment with all those different functions.
Yeah, send it back to you, by the way.
Okay, thank you. All right, so if there's no other questions, you want to practice with it a while.
Oh
see
yeah,
what you can-
don't forget the you were gonna check about the turbo part that we were having problems with.
Turbo elbow.
Yeah, turbo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll look right now and see if there's a message back from that guy, and also the NIMS exam code.
Yeah.
All right, good luck, guys. Try to have some patience with it and figure it out. It's it takes a little practice.
Okay, one last question.
What's up?
Is there a quick way to deselect all?
The
Deselect
Deselect-
everything that's on the page.
Yeah, you want to deselect it?
Yes, this way I can move things individually and not.
Yeah, I think if you right click, isn't there a deselect end selection? Huh.
I'm not trying to do anything right now. I just kind of have it. There's no active transformation going on. No active rotation. No nothing.
So, what do you want to do? Change the colors back, or?
Pretty much.
All right. So if you go to home and then attributes, you see the section that's attributes. And
I see attributes.
All right. So there's one that's clear to colors.
Solid color, surface color.
So, Come on.
Okay. Oh, there it
Find
is.
one. Clear colors.
I got it.
Okay. That'll do that.
Dankeschön.
I think he just cursed you out. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Those holes are 312, right? So it's 5/16.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to sign off. I got to put your attendance in and I'll check for those messages. So I'll be monitoring the chat. If you have questions, you can put them there. All right. Good luck with it, guys.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
2 inches.